All right. I think we have a good number of people in. So I'd like to welcome everybody to our Learn at Lunch session today. I'm Jerry Zavara. I'm VP of Programs. And let me welcome and introduce Officer London McBride, who will be our facilitator today. He is from our UCPD Crime Prevention Unit. London has about 15 years of diverse and varied law enforcement experience from patrol division as a patrol officer, field training officer, lead officer, DEI and procedural justice instructor, and detective. That's a lot under your belt, London. London is regularly involved in community projects and serves on various committees within his home city of Culver City, the UCLA Police Department, and the UCLA Community. Today, he will share information on how we can ensure our general safety by taking proactive steps to reduce the likelihood of crimes on campus, in our workplace, and in our neighborhoods. I'd like to remind everyone to please mute your audio until we get to the Q&A portion of our session. But if you have comments or questions that you would prefer to put in the chat, I will monitor that and facilitate those questions on your behalf when we get to that section. All right, well, thank you again for joining us. And London, I'm going to pass it over to you.
Thanks, Jerry. Hi, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well today. And I just want to say hello. My name is London McBride. That is my real name. I know I grew up in LA. That's not like my actor name. So that's really me. I just wanted to say thanks for being here. Thanks for coming out. I do work in our crime prevention unit. All by myself, we say unit, but it's really just me. But what we do is we try our best to partner with our campus community to find proactive ways to keep each and every one of us safe. And so what you would probably, if you see me on a typical day, I'm usually walking around on campus, trying to blend in. The gray hairs sometimes give me away, but I try to blend in and just, make conversations with some of the students, staff, and faculty that's around. When I am tasked to do things, what I usually do are site security surveys. So a lot of the cameras that are going up, different things that kind of help our campus community feel safe. I usually go around and try to assess the situation to see what we can do to make it better. So today, just wanted to spend a little time with you talking with you all, just having a time where I can answer any of your questions. I know it's been a crazy 24 hours, but it's also been a crazy, probably 2.5 years we're looking at with COVID and all, and things have changed. For some of you that's probably working remotely, or some of you that might be on campus might look a little different. You might see just things that tend to be out of place. If you would have came back to campus, you probably would have noticed some things that were different. One of the big things that we dealt with in regards to people coming back on campus were, I guess it was an increase in our unhoused population. And I know we dealt with that over even in some of our off-campus sites like the Venice Dental Clinic. And a lot of the tasks were how do we help those that are unhoused, but how do we also make sure that the people that are coming into their workspace are still secure and have that freedom to do what they need to do. A lot of the times, and I tell this to everybody, usually people don't want to call us. They don't want to call the police to come in and handle things. A lot of the times they feel that whatever questions they might have or issues or problems they might have, that the police don't want to get involved. And that's not true. In order to keep you all safe here up on our campus, we need you to make those calls. We need you to be proactive in things that you see, hear, to let us know what's going on so we can best serve you. Our community, our police community, in a sense, which is part of our bigger community here at UCLA, our job is to work hand in hand with you, with everybody that's here, to try to make this place the safest that we possibly can make it. And we need everybody. This is not just a police matter. This is a community matter. So whatever it is that you all can leave with me today, I can take back to our department, and we can work together as one big community to get these things done. So today, I just want to talk to you about just some safety concerns that I know a lot of people have, and things have come up in the past, and I just want to address it, or just give you ways that you can address it. I think everybody has the right to be safe in their own person, in their own homes, their office spaces, their cars. You name it, walking down the street, everybody has that right and entitled that right. So just some things that I know we have questions about. And if you do have questions, just like Jerry said, if there's something you want to throw in the chat, throw in it, and I'll get to it even before the Q&A. But just some of the topics, I think, so like general workspace and personal safety. When I usually talk about this, the first thing people ask me is, can I carry pepper spray? Right? Can I carry pepper spray? Pepper spray is fine. I mean, I think if you're walking around and you are going to and fro, so say maybe in your own neighborhood, and you're walking around in the neighborhood, you're walking around from the parking structure, I think you have the right to stay safe. And pepper spray is a useful tool. If you ever thought about it, pepper spray is a useful tool. Another thing that is very useful in regards to the pepper spray is they have foam. If you don't want to carry spray, they also have pepper foam. The thing about pepper spray, how many of you, I can't even see everybody's hands, but how many of you have ever used or seen pepper spray? No. I see some heads shaking no. Okay. All right. Pepper spray sucks. I just want to tell you that right now. When we were in the academy, we actually, oh, I see hands up. Good job. I appreciate it. When we were in the academy, we actually had to get pepper sprayed. So I'm not a fan of pepper spray. I don't like it at all. But pepper spray actually is a good defensive tool that actually takes the fight out of a person if somebody was trying to assault you or anything like that. And where you would spray, you typically just aim for the eyes and the nose area. When they got us eyes, nose, mouth. And what it does, it is actually made out of cayenne pepper and an aerosol. So it's pretty amazing how it works. Oh, is pepper spray the same as mace? Yes, but there's a difference. I'm not sure offhand what the difference is, but pepper spray is terrible. It's terrible. I'm just gonna let you know that now. So carry pepper spray. Pepper spray, it is definitely a good deterrent. Some other things when you think about the campus community, if you are working late, right? You guys, some of you all work late, right? So when you are working late, or even just during the day, I know sometimes things can get out of control. You've probably seen on the news there's always something going on in our area, not directly affecting our campus community, but just still in the area. And you always just want to be safe depending on where you're going. Always walk in pairs. Like we try to always preach that, because there's always power in numbers. And when you're going someplace, like even when you're leaving, set it up with a friend or a coworker that maybe you all leave together. And that when you're going into the parking garages, you make sure that you have a friend with you. Another good thing is when you're going to the parking garage, make sure you have your keys in your hand already. It not only gets you in your car faster, and you don't have to fumble through your purses or backpacks or fanny packs, because some cops carry fanny packs. So you can just make sure that you have it in your hand, and it's also a good defensive tool that you can use if somebody does try to come up and be an aggressor. You can always use those things as well. I know you're probably thinking, is the police officer really telling us to fight back? Yes, I am. I'm telling you to fight back. If there's some kind of situation and someone is aggressing you, I'll be the first one that come to your defense and say, yes, I taught them to fight back. I want them to fight back. Because I think it is definitely important that you protect yourselves, because from the time you call the police, even though we're only 2 minutes away, things can still happen, and you want to make sure that you're protecting yourself. That's a good question. Does UCPD offer any self-defense classes? No, but we can recommend some. So I'll put my email in the chat, and what I'll do is, if you have any kind of questions about self-defense classes, I can actually get somebody back to you that can actually give you or point you in the right direction, that can get you set up in some of those classes. We do have instructors here that teach a variety of different self-defenses, but as of opening it up to our campus community, I haven't seen or heard anything about that yet. But I think that would be something cool that we can possibly offer in the future. I'll talk to somebody about it, to the people that are over me. Definitely I will try to implement that. But other than that, so we have being safe in our own, like just walking to and fro from campus, around campus, to our cars. And then what about your workspace? We've seen it. I mean, it's now just become, and it's sad to say, but it's become common. And we read about it on the news, we see it on the news, but just a lot of workplace violence things taking place. And a lot of times, we're kind of behind the 8 ball in a sense, where we don't notify anyone when we see these changes in our coworkers or them beginning to act out. If that happens, if you notice some slight changes or aggressions or things like that, or someone seems to be either verbally assaulting you or physically assaulting you, or just making you uncomfortable, there are so many resources that our campus community has, especially in regards to that, from our Title IX office to our behavioral intervention team, and they work on cases in regards to like workplace aggression, workplace violence. You can always get in touch with them. All of this stuff that I'm telling you is actually on our website, on our police department's website. And then even if you look up our behavioral intervention team, you can actually see what they're all about and what they have to offer our campus community. There are so many things that we have, but a lot of times we just don't know because it's not necessarily put out there. But that's it. Oh, thanks, Jerry. But we want you to be safe. We want you to be safe, like I said, in your own personal homes, and in your workplace, while you're traveling, wherever you're going. We want you to maintain that level of safety. Another thing that I've seen since I've been back, and you could raise your hand if you've seen them. Have you been getting those weird emails? Sometimes you get weird emails that's saying, hey, donate money to this or donate money to that, or we have unicorns for you for sale, and people like, I'm pressing that. There's a lot of scams that are going on out there, and you definitely have to be aware of all of those that are being sent through the internet. And even the ones over the phone. How many of you have received the phone call that you have a warrant for your arrest and you need to send money here? I see a thumbs up. Right? I see heads nodding too. Okay, yeah. Don't do that. definitely don't do that. And I'm glad no one, hopefully no one is fell victim to that. Don't ever do that. Like if somebody says they have a warrant for your arrest, send money, they are not the police. They absolutely not. Because first off, we probably wouldn't tell you if we were showing up. So you know that that's a clue. So don't ever fall for that. A lot of other scams that we've seen, and a lot of our student and staff population have kind of fell victim to is a lot of the scams about money, whether it's apartments or whether it's, hey, send a donation here, or a lot of the internet scams where they say, hey, we have pictures of you. If you don't want us to post them, then you need to send money here. If you ever get any of those things, you can always make us aware. Definitely delete the email. But I'm sorry. So the grandma and grandpa scam. Yeah, that's it. But you can always delete it. Definitely delete it, and then let us know. Another resource, if you see those scams are popping up, regularly, is the FBI's website, and I'll put that in the chat as well. It's called ic3.gov, and ic3.gov is ran by the FBI, and what they do is they monitor those types of scams. So if they become big enough, in a sense, where a lot of people are falling victim to them, that's something that the FBI starts to look at a little bit more heavily. We've dealt with it before, and when our student population, or student or staff population comes to us with these, we kind of refer them to the FBI. The FBI has way more resources than we have, so they can actually dedicate time, because they actually have dedicated units to making sure that they find out who's actually on the other end of all of those scams. Definitely keep yourself safe. And we talk about these things too. Change your passwords when it comes to your internet stuff. When it comes to you, whether you're paying bills or anything online, make sure you don't have the easiest password in the book. Don't do that. Change it often. I know Google does, and you probably all have seen it. Sometimes Google does it. I think Apple does it as well. When they tell you, hey, your passwords have been kind of compromised, you probably want to change it. Those are good. Those are good things to do, to go back in there and to make sure that you change those passwords when necessary. So those scams we see those scams a lot. So just make sure that if they do come across in your email, or you are getting these phone calls, it's okay to call us. It's definitely okay to call us, and then we'll either, if it's something that we can investigate, we will. That's what our detective unit is for. If it's something that we can investigate, we'll definitely investigate it. If it's something that might seem to be a little bit over our head and we need more resources, we'll refer you to the FBI's website. Any questions that you might have, you can all, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry, there is a question directly that was sent to me, and they said, and it kind of relates to what you're saying. They said, we hear the phrase, you see something, you say something. And so who do we say that to? Like, how do we contact the UCPD to report, just things that we might see around the campus that's maybe abnormal?
Yeah. So in just everyday reporting, like if you see something, like I said, see something, say something, you just call our dispatch number. The good thing about UCPD is that you won't get a voicemail, and you won't get bounced around to different divisions. So all you would have to do is just dial the 825-1491 number, which is our main dispatch number. And the dispatchers will talk to you, figure out what you have, and properly dispatch the officers either to your location, or they'll give you a call. So that's something. I would have this in my phone, this number on speed dial in my phone, because even if you're just around campus, or at your buildings. If you work in different buildings that might be a little bit off campus, you can call and we can show up. Here's the thing about UCPD, and I don't know if everyone knows, but we are a full-on police department. Our jurisdiction extends throughout the state of California. And when we patrol during the day, we go as far south as Culver City, probably as far west as to the water, because we take care of the hospitals and all of the property that we have out there. And then, like I said, in Culver City, we have UCLA has property as well in those areas, and student housing out that way. So we have a very big footprint in the city of LA. And so if you're working off campus as well, you can definitely give us a call, and we can get the resources to you that you need. But definitely keep this number in your phone. Let's see. I'm gonna go to the chat because I know there's some questions coming up. How many officers do we have? So from the chief to the newest person on the department, there are, I believe we top out at 65. And so that's how many we have right now. So, I mean, you think about that, and we don't, I think the cool thing about UCPD is that we're not chasing the radio all day long. So we actually have time to really respond and investigate situations as they happen. So yeah, so it makes our community feel, hopefully it makes you all feel a little bit safer to know that we can actually take our time and investigate these things, and they're not getting blown off. 2 K9 units, yes, 2 K9 units. Have you seen them? I see a question in here. Have you seen our K9 units? You can raise your hand if you've seen them. Thumbs up. Yeah. Kylo and Blake. Those are our K9s. Kylo and Blake. And the handlers are Larry and Tiffany. Tiffany is Kylo's handler, and Larry is Blake's handler. Let's see. So another question says, I mentioned that UCPD can be a resource even when working off campus. Does that apply to remote work from home in the city of LA? So no. Well, yes, sort of. We won't respond if you call from home, but we can definitely get to LAPD faster. We can call them and get in touch with them faster, because our dispatchers have a direct line to their dispatchers. So if there's, usually what happens, and I can give you an example, things around Westwood or the west side or east side of campus, if something happens and we get the call, but we don't have the resources to get there, our dispatchers will contact LAPD, and vice versa. If LA can't get to a call, they'll contact our dispatchers, and then our dispatchers will send one of our units, or however many units we need, to handle that situation. So yeah, if you need us and you're off campus, definitely give us a call. And I say give us a call first because we are, unless it's like a serious emergency, dial 911, because 911, there's the operator is for real. It's not a voicemail. But if it's something that doesn't require an emergency response, but you had a question or there was a report, you can definitely call us and we can get you in contact with the agency in your area. Any more questions? Oh, you're welcome.
And then I got another one. I've seen security, we have security guards in our buildings. Are those affiliated to with UCPD?
What building is it?
Wilshire Center.
Yes. So we have, UCPD has taken on the challenge of basically now we have a security division. We built a security division within our department. So those security officers that you see do work for us. They work for UCPD. So they actually they don't get police officer training, but they get trained by our defensive tactics staff. And then they learn how to write reports. Our dispatchers train them and how to use the radio and things like that. So yes, they do work for us. So they have a direct line to us as well.
London, is that the only building? Someone also asked, is Oppenheimer Tower also covered by UCPD? Which buildings are covered?
So security guard wise, we have 924 Westwood, we have the Wilshire Center, we have Wilshire Glendon. I know on campus is the Morgan Center, so athletics, and Geffen Academy, and the dental clinic down on Lincoln. We have those. The hospitals are all covered by hospital security. And then the Med Plaza the same way. Those are hospital security. But Oppenheimer Tower, because those are employees, of course you can call us and we'll show up. But I don't think we don't have security guards there. Anything else? Feel free. You know what? Feel free. Ask anything. You guys, you all can.
Yes, one more.
Yeah.
Sorry, this was related to something you said earlier. Can you recommend some small devices, not weapons, that can protect us and send out alarms when in danger?
Ooh. Small weapons that can protect you and send out alarms when in danger.
Sorry, not weapons, so small devices.
Small devices, not weapons. Let me look into that, because I know some folks that would probably have those answers. The only thing I can think of is yeah, a whistle. Yes, a whistle definitely works. But now cell phones tend to have like the emergency, like a kind of like a panic button. You can actually set up, you press the power button like 4 times and it sends out your GPS location and things like that, but also makes phone calls to your emergency contact, which are really good, unless you bump it a lot and then you get like everybody shows up at your house, so you definitely got to be careful with those. I see one said, what about tasers? Actually, yes, there are personal tasers, and it's actually through Taser. It's called Axon. Let me see. Yeah, and they are the makers of tasers, and they actually have personal tasers, civilian model tasers. So yeah, if you want to look into those are definitely good and useful tools to have. You said a self-defense instructor recommended a small tactical flashlight. True. Small little flashlights, keys, whatever you have, those work, because the small flashlight becomes an impact weapon. So I think those are really good. Those are really good to have, just to be distractions, to get a person off of you, and then to make it to where you need to make it to. So impact weapons are really good, other than carrying like a knife, small pistol, which you can't carry. Those are very good weapon.
And then I got 2 kind of related
mag light.
So one asked about is carrying the personal tasers, are those legal on campus? And then someone else asked if you need to get trained on how to use that.
Yeah, you would definitely have to get trained on how to use it. Legal on campus, let me check, because they're legal to have, but I would have to see how our rules on campus are set up. I don't think so, but let me email me, and then I'll have your info, and then I can get you that information. Matter of fact, I can get everybody that information. But they are legal to possess, and you do go through training. You have to go through training to get them. And I remember when they first came out, and I think it's still the same, if they are deployed, or you have to use it against someone, Taser gives you another one, because along with like an incident number, a police report, things like that. But I think they're actually better than they were when they first came out. So those are definitely good weapons to have. So I'll find out for you, and let you all know. Anything else? Seriously, feel free. Any kind of question you have, I mean, whatever it is, ask it. Ask away. Ask away. No. Campus escort? No, not only for students. A lot of faculty and staff use them as well. And then, yeah, if you go on our website, you'll see their hours. They're under CSOs. And so, yeah, I think they're still running the van pool. And if not, they usually they'll walk you to your location. But yeah, they're definitely a good resource, actually a great resource to have.
London, what is this Safe Ride?
Safe Ride, I believe Safe Ride was something that was on campus, but it's not tied. I don't believe it's tied to the PD. I don't think it's tied to the PD at all. But from when I was on patrol and I saw Safe Ride, it was a company that was used to get people back and forth from different locations. Like if they were working late, they would use Safe Ride, and Safe Ride took them. I think Safe Ride could take them off campus, like places off campus. Our CSOs tend to just work within the campus perimeter.
Thank you. There was a question about when should we call the PD, like a general rule of thumb.
When you should call the PD? I think, it's up to the individual when they think they should call. If they see something that's like kind of like out of the ordinary, you can always call us to come and check it out. I mean, of course, if you see someone assaulting another person, don't try to intervene, call us, because you just never know if that person has any kind of weapons or not. If you see a stranded motorist, I mean, feel free to call, so UCPD can come out and make sure that they're safe. Whatever it is, and it is true, somebody put in there, yeah, trust your instincts. If you feel that, like, even just around the area and you see someone that's kind of looking in cars or things like that, don't try to confront them. Just call us and we'll show up. And when you do call, just all we need is a location, who you are, what you see, and if it's a description of someone, then you give the description to the police or to the dispatcher that's on the phone. Yep. Yes. So if you call 911, now here's the thing, and I've seen it with different carriers. It just depends. That's why we always tell our student, staff, and faculty to just call that number, to just call the 825-1491 number, because depending upon where you are, it might bounce off towers and hit something else. Now that's the thing that we've dealt with cell phones. But if you dial 911 from a landline on campus, then yes, it will go to UCPD. And also in your workspaces, be aware of the panic alarms. So there's under some desks, there are, especially front desk or desk in, it really depends on your office. There are panic alarms that you can actually press, and it will generate a police response. And if you don't have them, please email me so I can come out and check your office space out, and we could try to get those installed for you. Not the PD personally, but facilities will install them for you. That's a good question, Erica. So how should you handle the unhoused? Because some are confrontational, and they are. The best thing that I can tell you to do is just walk away. And if they are becoming confrontational, you can always dial that number, have that number, like I said, on speed dial, have that number, and let us know where you are, and we'll show up. We'll definitely show up. A lot of times too, if you're in an area where you see there's multiple people, then try to head towards that area, and still stay on the phone with us so we can get to you. If you look around, if they're in your building, and that's true, if they're in your building, definitely call us, because it becomes a trespassing issue, and you can just call us. Outside, you have either your cell phone, or if you've seen those emergency lights, those blue lights on campus, you can go to one of those and press those, and it goes directly to the police department, and it actually has your location in there, so we know where you are, as well. And then some of them are now being installed with cameras, so we can see what's going on. But yeah, inside the building, definitely give us a call, because it ends up being trespassing.
London, you mentioned being able to come into people's departments and, kind of maybe talk about, how to have a safe route or have some type of safety practice. Is that a service for anybody? Is that a service offered, is that a service that UCPD offers?
Yes. So part of my job as crime prevention officer is to go into assess buildings, offices, I mean, even homes. We've done it before, for safety concerns. If you have any kind of safety concern, we can come in, and we'll do a walkthrough of your office space and let you know what our recommendations are, to make sure that it's safe for you. So yeah, all you do is you just you give us a call. Actually, you'll talk to me, and then I'll come through, set up a time, come through and walk through your space with you. The situation with hot prowls in the dorms. Was there a situation? Because I know this might be something I need you to vocalize for me to explain it, because I'm
Yeah, sometimes we get UCPD alerts and they explain like a hot prowl going through like a side window or something into a dorm room, and the dorm person's still in the room. It's just kind of crazy sounding.
okay. So thank you. Thanks for coming on. And
no problem.
So a hot prowl is usually when you hear like a hot prowl, you get a hot prowl alert. That means somebody is just like you said. The person breaking in has broken into a place where somebody is physically there. So it becomes a hot prowl. So what happens is the response from the officers, it warrants a code 3 response. So that's when you hear the lights and sirens and things like that, because what we're thinking is that we need to get there because we don't know if the person is being attacked. So those tend to be hot prowls. So that's the definition of a hot prowl. Usually if no one is there, we actually take the report as just a standard burglary report. Hopefully I answered that for you. Good stuff. All right. So any more questions? Seriously, I'm here. You can ask anything. That's what learning at lunch is all about. Yeah. Sure. Anything. I mean, yeah. Is there a way to partner with the PD with our departments? Partner like how? Like you want cookouts, softball games, basketball game? Come on, Erica, get on. Let me hear what you got to say. You just muted yourself.
You said staff meetings.
Oh, staff meeting. Yeah, sure. Whatever you need. Yep. We do. So I usually go around and do a lot of the presentations. I mean, everyone. I mean, you can in any kind of presentation you want, just let me know, and we can definitely do it for your staff meetings. That's no problem.
Okay, thank you. That's great.
Do you have an Explorer program?
No, you know what? We actually, this was years ago. We actually tried one, but I guess, you know, it didn't work out. It didn't work out. But I think that would be something neat to start back doing. So yeah, that would probably come from my office as well. And I think that's the thing. And I'm glad you all are on here because you can help me. Usually the person that's in this position, the crime prevention officer, it's also a part of like community outreach as well. So I do definitely want to partner with you all because we can all make our campus community safe. And you know, I don't like the us versus them mentality. And I know you've seen that before in regards to policing and community, but that's not what it's about. We're supposed to be all doing this together and keeping one another safe together. So you all might have ideas that you feel are important that we can implement here. So I want to hear whatever it is that you want to give up in info and let me know how I can do my job better, and how we here as a campus community can do better and serving one another. So whatever you have for me, I think that would be cool. And so an Explorer program is usually you get young men and women to come in and they learn kind of like the foundations of law enforcement, and they tend to want to get into law enforcement when they get older. So it's kind of like a cadet program that you have, and you set it up, and they kind of see what it's like to be a police officer.
And then there's a question, does UCPD still label laptops? If yes, how do we make an appointment?
So do we still label laptops? I believe we still do. And if you need an appointment, you just come talk to me. And so, yeah, I'm here. I'm here Tuesday through Friday, and I get here like 7:30. I leave around 5:30. So anytime.
Are there ride-alongs?
Let's see. We shut the ride-alongs down during COVID, but I think once everything clears up, there will be ride-alongs. But ride-alongs are cool, especially so we can show people what we do. So yeah, once they start back, I would encourage each and every one of you to come do a ride-along. And you might be able to just set up an appointment. I can take you on a tour of the station. That's no problem.
There are two questions popping up. The first one is that I got directly. Any recommendations for when protests or protesters goes through your building and or stay in the building?
So what to do about it? I'm sorry.
I'm assuming yes, that's what they're asking.
So if they're in the building, I mean, everyone has a right to protest. And like a lot of these protests, we know about because it's done in concert with like the Dean of Students Office and SOL and things like that. If these protests, if they get out of line, then I think that tends to be the time that we step in. Usually Dean of Students and SOL ends up, which is the student organization, they end up handling a lot of the issues that go on during protests. Sometimes, I mean, we're like the last line, and that's only if it gets out of control. There's two questions. Let me see. Comment on this.
The other one was, what can be done with the scooters zipping through red lights?
Oh my goodness. I'm still trying to figure it out myself. I mean, I know we have officers that they actually enforce that. I mean, that it's illegal. So when officers are actually around, they try to enforce that. So I think here's a plan. So if you know exactly where they're doing it, like if they're doing it in a specific place, let me know, and then I can talk to our patrol officers and have them monitor that place. So that's one thing. That's one way we can try to stop it. But if it's all over, honestly, it's just us being at the right place at the right time. But if it's a specific location, we can definitely get officers there to take care of it. We did that before when it came to the dismount zone on Bruin Walk, when people would just zip through on bikes and all that stuff. We would stay there just to kind of warn them, hey, you can't do this. You gotta get off your bike and walk it because people might get hurt. So yeah, just let me know if there's oh, is that it? Gailey and Charles Young? Got you. All right, I got you. No problem. Oh, okay. So Karen sent the message. It says about the services offered with plainclothes officers present when there might be a release of employment. Yes, we show up for things like that as well. If there's a release of employment and people in their office space don't feel safe, we'll show up, and it might be either, I've done it before, or we use our threat management office for things like that, because typically they're probably working hand in hand with the behavior intervention team when something like that happens. So yeah, those are services that are available to you in your departments. So Karen, is that where the scooters are zipping through Westwood and LeConte?
Yes, at the main intersection. Yes.
Oh, okay, I got you. All right, we'll send some people over there. Anything else? Seriously, ask away. I don't want y'all leaving here saying that I should have asked that question. And if you want, you can throw a hand up and I can see, and then and you can talk to me. I really am a nice person. You don't have to be afraid to talk to me. I'm a nice guy. I like ice cream stuff.
So there are two questions. Does
Go for it.
UCPD have a tactical team? That's the first.
So do we have a tactical team? No. So there are some officers on the department. We went through extra training in regards to like active shooter situations, things like that. We called it a designated DRO. So it was a designated response officer. Every officer here is taught active shooter tactics. So if one showed up, I mean, if any of our officers showed up, they know how to handle tactical situations in regards to like active shooter and stuff like that. Yep. So typically if there's some kind of like situation where we don't have the resources or there's a barricaded suspect, like our guidelines state that we have to call LAPD's SWAT team because they have or you call the FBI SWAT team, whoever's available, but you would call them because they have that specialized hostage rescue training to make sure that the situation comes out fine.
Thank you. Thanks. Is there a map of the blue light stations on campus?
You know, no, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. But let me see. I'll try to find one, and if not, we can make one. That's no problem.
Is bear spray better or worse than pepper spray?
Air spray? I think it might be worse. I honestly think it might be worse. Yeah, shoots farther. That's very true. But yeah, yeah, no. I've never got sprayed with that one. I'll tell you that.
Thanks, Laura, for putting that. Laura,
Yeah.
also illegal to carry in California, and that's hiking.
Unless you're hiking.
Don't bring your bear spray on campus, please.
Please don't bring bear spray on campus. Yes, Stacey, that's a good point. Because they do have the AEDs listed. So they might. But yeah, the blue lights and a lot of them now, they're newer ones going up. So it would be interesting to find out if they do have a map with all of the ones. Anything else? Come on now, I know y'all got questions.
We have London for 5 more minutes, so whatever
5 more
questions
minutes.
you might have.
Okay, here's a question for you all. Are you all doing okay? Yeah. Okay. All right, thumbs up. Good stuff. That's what I really want to know. I just want to make sure you all are okay. And just to let you know that we're here for you. Whatever you all need, we're here. We're trying to do this thing together. That's really what it's about, being a part of this community. We do it together. I appreciate it. I appreciate all your questions today and us just getting the chance to talk because you help me and my colleagues do our job better. And it's the truth. I think having conversations like this and you all just being able to weigh in on situations benefits us all, because we get to hear from the people that we serve. And I think that is the truth of what it means to be in this profession. I don't know if you ever seen the law enforcement code of ethics, but what it states is that the badge that we wear is a symbol of faith from the people. So you have faith in me and my colleagues to do our job. What that also means is that you can hold us accountable. And I think that's huge. You can help us always do better. So thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me. Thanks for talking. Thanks for laughing with me and stuff like that. I think that's really cool. And I will put my contact in the chat for you, so you can all have it.
London, there's one question that how does UCPD meet with other UCs or USC PDs and talk?
Oh, okay. You mean like for collaborations on things?
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, we do. We do a lot. As a matter of fact, like we meet up. We do a lot of we do training with one another. But there's always that constant communication. I mean, just like, so if something happens there, we're able to always use our resources and contact other agencies. We're actually a part of almost like an area platoon. So like if any kind of like a major incident or things like that take place, so we work with Culver City, West LA, Beverly Hills, Santa Monica, like even Santa Monica City College. So we do a lot. And yes, yep, UCPD is system-wide. There are over 300 officers within the system. All 10 campuses has a UCPD. And during any kind of big event, we'll bring most of them down. So yeah.
Great, thank you. I hope everybody saw London's contact information that he posted on chat. He put his email as well as his phone number. And again, the dispatch number is the 51491 if you're calling from campus, or 825-1491 if you're calling off campus. So have that in your speed dial as he recommended. So we are out of time. You guys had so many questions for London. This is great. I'm glad that we were able to have this discussion and get some feedback on how we can be more safe and how we can be proactive being safe within our environment. So thank you all for joining us in our session today, and we hope to see you at our next Learn at Lunch. Thank you, London.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you.